Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Priscilla Tricarico coming to you live. If this is the first time you have watched my page, make sure you give me a love heart or say hello, because I love welcoming new people into my community. If you have watched me quite a bit, then give me a love heart or a thumbs up and comment, because this page is all about connection. It's about conversing with you, about growing your business, your community, and building a platform within yourself to grow that, right? Why do we jump on social media? I jump on social media so that I can share these things with you, and also to connect with other women that are growing and creating their business, that are supporting their clients. And this is a social media platform. So come and connect, come and comment. So today I want to chat to you about growing within your business in such a way that your health grows. Because there's so many of you out there, because it was me a decade ago, that was creating amazing things in my business, was growing in my business, the heights that we reach in business, the money that we make, the wealth that we grow gets to happen. And we get to build health within our body. But a decade ago, I didn't worry as much about the health part of things, about my nervous system. Because when we are in our 30s, we have this certain revival resilience. And it's like we're invincible almost. And there comes a point where our body starts to give us signals. Our body starts to give us signals with digestion. Our body starts to give us signals with our hormones. Our body starts to give us signals with our how we feel within ourselves. Whether we have some projections, whether we have some anxiousness come about, whether we go in our mind and can't jump out of it to bring our gifts through in our business. The body cues, the imprints, the things that show up in the body are all signals. They're all things to help you. When we get signals, a lot of people are oh, I can't believe it, I've got this thing. And people just want to put it down. They want to let go of it. They want to get rid of it. They want to make it go away. But the body is trying to tell us something when it signals these things. If your body is signaling inflammation in some sort of way, if your body is signaling that you can't get out of your mind and that, there's something holding you back in your business, that you're not making as much money, that you're not connecting with your clients as well, or you're not enjoying your business as much. If your body's signaling to you that you can't have kids or that you're not able to become fertile, these are things that need to be listened to. These are things that your body's trying to communicate with you. And just pushing it aside or covering it up is not listening to the signals of your body. It's just imagine if I stood in a thorn and my body was signaling to me that there's a thorn in my foot. And I said to myself, oh, there's a thorn in my foot, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to take a Panadol and I'm going to make the thorn go away. And it's the thorn, I stood in the thorn and my body was telling me that I stood in the thorn. And my body was telling me for a reason. If we try to just shut the reason out and cover it up with something, me taking a painkiller is covering up the fact that there's a thorn in my foot. It works. It works. And so that way, if I take the Panadol, it doesn't feel pain anymore. So my body's signal is no longer giving me the signal to say there's something wrong. And a lot of people do this in business. They do it with their health. And then eventually the signal gets louder. And this is what I want to share with you, because it's so important to my heart that you get this within yourself. Because our growth in business isn't just about our growth in our business. We're doing this for a reason. Like, we're in this for a reason. You have a why. You have a reason why you're growing your own business. And as you grow that, if there's something that gets in the way, either in your physical body, or you get signals from your business not working as well, or you get signals from, like, you start feeling bored, you start feeling like you're not enjoying it as much, you start feeling like you want to revamp things because it doesn't feel right. These are all signals in your body. And whether they're health signals, like not being able to have kids, or like an inflammation somewhere in your body, or whether they're actual physical wealth signals, like you're not building the wealth for some reason that you'd like to. Maybe it's a signal like coming through that you're not able to find a partner. Like, there's so many different avenues that we get signals from our body that tell us that something isn't aligned for us. And when we get these signals, our body's telling us something and we need to listen. And just like the thorn, instead of going, okay, I'm getting this signal but I don't want to hear it, I don't want to know about it, we locate the thorn and pull it out. And this is my favorite thing to do, is like this process of finding the thorn and pulling it out. Because we get to grow our body, we get to grow our nervous system and the power in our nervous system without like creating more damage in the long run. And sometimes some of the techniques that I've done, some of the things that I've stepped into have pulled me into like this state of fixing myself, this state of there's something wrong with me. And you know, for decades I was searching, what is the thing that I can do to make my body feel better? What is the thing I can do to make my body feel powerful? Because through my 30s, I noticed some changes in my body. I noticed some things in my body where I was like, wow, I'm not invincible anymore. And it made me step back a bit. It made me feel like there was something wrong with me. Whether it was something in my nervous system where I was like, I was edgy, or I was irritable, or I wasn't in my magic how I used to be. And it's like finding these things within ourselves and then being happy for the signal, rather than the conventional of, I get a signal that something's wrong and I get pissed about it, I get annoyed about it. Right? This is what we get used to. It's like we have a headache, or we have something that comes up and we're like annoyed that our body's signaling to us, because it's like, I don't have time for this, I've got a business to run, I've got all these things in my schedule, I've got a date to go on. And it's like, I don't want to hear the body signal, I just want to make it go away. But what I want to teach you is that the more you ignore these signals in your body, the more they build up. And what I see, the patterns in people is that in their 20s, 30s, they can ignore the signal and they're okay. But when we start getting into our 40s, the classic of what happens is we get to a point where things start building up, things start compounding. And the more that things build up, the more that things compound, the more that we go, there's something wrong with us. I want to shift that paradigm in you. I want to shift that paradigm that there's an aging process, inevitable health process that you're going to fall into, and that's going to shift how you show up in your business. And it's like we get to grow our businesses and we get to grow the health within our bodies, and it all starts in the nervous system. Our nervous system is like the underlying power, the underlying generator. And there's so many women that I work with that grew their businesses just like me, with this power and intention, with this belief, with this faith in God, in themselves, in the process, in their mission. And just by having that, you are going to be able to bring success in. You are going to be able to manifest amazing things. But what I realized a few decades down the track is that by creating amazing things, by stepping into the things we love and like growing our power and like manifesting growth in our business, manifesting success, bringing in money, bringing in wealth, that gets to be done in a way where we support our nervous system and our bodies and our health in the future. Because I wasn't fully doing that a decade ago. I felt good, I made good money, but my health, there were things that were shifting within my health, and my body was giving me these subtle cues. And when our body gives these subtle cues, then we get to tap into it rather than pushing it aside. If you have infertility, if you have inflammation, if you have pain somewhere, it's your body telling you something. If your business isn't going right, if you don't feel like it's fun, if you feel like you're in a plateau, if you feel like something's holding you back, your body's trying to tell you something. It's like whenever there's something not quite right, I feel it in my body. There's an imprint, there's something that comes up, and then I know, hang on, there's a signal coming through. My body's trying to tell me something. And I could say, I'm busy, I don't want to know right now. And I used to do that, right? I used to value success more than I valued the signals of my body. And like I said, we can do that in our early years. But as we head towards the 40s, 50s, things change and it compounds. So I want you to be aware, not to like scare you, but I wish I had someone that told me these things. Because if I would have known about these things a decade ago, then I would have been able to build up on it. But instead I get to be the messenger. I get to be the one that shares this with you. I get to be the one that is standing here and like teaching you how to step into the power in your nervous system so that you get to build this kick-ass legacy, this kick-ass empire, this kick-ass impact on the world, but feel so damn friggin' good within yourself that it's insane. And that is what I love standing into. And it's like you make the time for it when you value it. And as you go towards more and more like time on this earth in your lifetime, you will see that ignoring the signals in your body is not going to be helpful for you. But it's an art tapping into the signals, like what they actually mean and what your body's trying to tell you. And the art of it, when you pay attention to it, because so many people tap into signals in their body and then like spend time fixing themselves. And how that looks is that we sit there and we blame something in our past. We blame something that happened to us. We blame something happening in the now. We blame someone or we blame ourselves. And we put the blame on it, and then we try to fix our anger for the blame. We know the blame is there and we're like, well, we just have to forgive. We just have to forgive, and once we forgive, we let go. But it's not always a forgiveness process. And so when you spend time on either forgiving someone or forgiving yourself or fixing yourself, and you don't have time to grow the things you love, you don't have time to grow the health in your body, then this just perpetuates everything over and over again. And I fell into this cycle. I did like numerous courses, so many different techniques, and they were amazing techniques, don't get me wrong. Each single technique that I've learned helped support me. But one of the biggest things that really supported me in the background, that really grew my health in the background, was building up my nervous system. And not by thinking, but by tapping into the power of me, tapping into the power of what my body could create, tapping into the signals in my body rather than blaming someone or something and then finding a way to let it go. Because that can feel like fixing, that can be fixing, and depending on the flavor, depending on the way that you're doing it, you could spend decades of your life fixing yourself. And so I want to help you interpret the signals so that you understand what the signals mean. Because it's not just face value. Often we get a signal and it's like the surface of it looks like something, but then underneath there's so much more. And just like that iceberg, it's like you see the top of the iceberg is only like 1/3 of the size of it, and then the 2/3 underneath is the actual key. That's what's grounding it. That's what's supporting it. That's how your nervous system works. And when we find these portals within the nervous system, because there's so many different ways into the nervous system, but when you find the ways into the nervous system and you're able to shift the things that are underpinning the wheels, the cogs that turn your power, the cogs that turn your power towards your health. And this is what I love to grow in people. And this doesn't just happen in a 1-hour session. When you stand in and you interpret the signals, it's like learning a language, right? It's like if I started speaking to you in French and you don't know French, you might pick up a couple of different words, but if you don't know French, you won't get the meaning. And this is how the nervous system works. When we're younger, when we're babies, our nervous system like concretes the language, and you will have a unique language within yourself. But this unique language is subconscious. And no matter how much we yield the conscious mind, no matter how much we're able to open bliss, love, and power to create our dreams, our missions, and amazing things, if within our subconscious, our nervous system is programming something and it shows up within our physical health as something, within how we feel, within our mindset. So whether it's a health thing, whether it's a mindset thing, it's the body signaling to us, right? Because the mind is part of the body. And so if we have procrastination, we have imposter syndrome, we have burnout, or we have any of those things, the mindset things that hold us back in our business, if we have pain, if we have inflammation, if we have infertility, if we have like hormonal things happen to us, these are all signals within our nervous system, within our body, that something isn't right. Something needs to shift. And we can either ignore these signals, push them aside, and trust me, I used to do that. And it worked. Because I was younger, it worked. It seemed like I could push it aside. I grew my consciousness, I grew like my mission, and I headed towards things that I wanted to create, and I created them. Like the power of our manifesting is insane. Like when we step into our consciousness and we have like an embodied connection with our mission, with our soul. I get so excited and passionate. It's like, woo, and then too much. Slur the words. So when we have our mission, when we have our connection, and we're going towards something, and we like are held back, we can push it aside, right? If you have this like consciousness power, I have women in my communities that are so friggin' powerful that they're able to yield their consciousness, their manifestation, that they can manifest such amazing things. And what I love is supporting them with their nervous system so that they continue to do that, but they can interpret the signals in their body so that they understand what their body's telling them, so that they don't build up imprints in their body for health issues down the track. And it's like, it's not that we can avoid health issues completely, right? I mean, health issues exist so that we remember, we remember that we are who we are. Like we're human and we are in this physical form. But health issues don't have to exist in a way where they are debilitating to our lifestyle, 24 years as a healthcare practitioner, I have seen some things. I have seen some things where it's like, why on earth do people have these things? And as a believer in God, as someone who like has full faith in God, I see these things and I ask, why do people have to suffer like this? Why do people have to have these conditions? And it's not God's will to create these conditions, this hurt, this pain on people. But we have free will. We have free will, and that is our independence. And so when we fall into cycles, when we fall into these things, then we can't then blame God for that. And so the power within ourselves is to take responsibility of our bodies and to take responsibility for holding into the signals that we are given to us. And instead of taking signals, whether it's in our mental state or whether it's in our physical body, as a blessing to say, hey, our body is signaling to us. It's like if you put your hand on a fire, on a flame, your body signals to you and it says that is hot. If your body is signaling to you with stress, with anxiety, with something that is like you're in a physical state where you feel discomfort or pain, it's like your body's trying to tell you something. We just get annoyed if we don't know how to shift it, right? But we get to understand the signal rather than cover it up. We get to understand it and follow what our body's trying to tell us, instead of either wiping it to the side and saying, no, I'll get to that. Because the consequence of, no, I'll get to that, is that your body then starts to scream and show you things that are bigger health issues or bigger blocks in terms of things that hold you back with creating things that you really want. And so what we want is we want to grow our capacity to understand what our body is trying to signal to us. Because if we're tapped into our soul's mission and the things that we're meant to create here, the gifts that we've got, and we ascend with how we connect to our soul's mission, how we connect to love and the frequency of like this vibration of creating the connection with our clients and what we're here to help our clients with. But our body is like lagging behind. Just think of it as like, you know, you're doing all these amazing things to ascend your soul, to ascend your faith and connection, and your soul is like riding these waves of beautiful frequencies and power and like love, and then your body is lagging behind. You're doing the marathon with your soul and your body is like trying to catch up. What we want to do is tap into our body as well and connect our ascension within our soul with ascension in our body. It's like the two get to connect with each other, and then our mind gets to support us rather than hold us back. A lot of successful women grow power in their mind and in their consciousness and create amazing things by growing that. I know, because I did that. I tapped into my soul's mission. I tapped into ascension in my soul. I tapped into ascension in my mind and growing power in my mind. And the beauty of what I created in my life was freaking amazing. I manifested amazing things. I manifested being in the top 1% of like the state, and got into a course of like amazing things. But it was sheer mindset, like sheer control of my consciousness that I did that with, and sheer capacity to like know and have faith that that was my mission. But that's not how you step into understanding the signals of your body. And then again, when I got into a business and like grew that business, and like the amazing potential and power in that business and success in that business, But that wasn't the same as growing the power in my nervous system. The consciousness to manifest, to create amazing things, is not the same as growing power in our nervous system. But it's also not the same as fixing ourselves. And that's what you'll find a lot of available. Fixing ourselves by saying, oh, I've got a block, oh, I've got something in the way, oh, I've got something wrong with me. And then you spend years of your life trying to find the things, the skeletons in your closet, and the reasons why you're not good enough, or the reasons why you're too much. That's not it either. And it's like, it's an art, finding the capacity to shift the signals in the body is different to just fixing yourself. When you find the signals in your body, it's direct, and you can follow the path and shift it so that you don't have to shut it out. And back to that thorn analogy, it's like some people take the Panadol for the thorn in the foot. They take it and shut it out and create success. They create amazing things in their life, but then that thorn one day comes back and creates health issues. The other type is they've got that thorn in their foot. They've got the projections, they've got the emotional issues, they've got certain things that pop up, but their consciousness is so powerful that they're able to create success, they're able to create beautiful relationships. But then something in the thorn shows up as a health issue. And addressing that is so important. And taking a pill for it and just like having pain relief just shuts it out. And you may feel better, you may feel like it's fixed, but the thorn's still there. And you know the thorn's still there because your body signals to you. Your body tells you, either with a health issue or with the feelings in your body, like something isn't right, anxiety or going in your mind. And when you have these things, it's not about diagnosing them and boxing them, because you could do that. But then that is also just like looking at the shape of the thorn and what parts of your body the thorn has gotten into. I spent so many years like learning and diagnosing things, and they're useful things, right? So many somatic practices that shift trauma in the body are about knowing the shape of the thorn and knowing the shape then of what part of your body it has hurt. Like when you go in and talk about attachment styles and actually diagnose the type of mental health thing going on, or like what is happening, it's like scanning the 3D shape of the thorn and like the impact of what it's done on the body. And that could take decades of your life knowing the shape of where it's affected, and then you can say, okay, well, it's hit this tendon or that muscle or that bone. But that's just the diagnostics of it. And the diagnostics take up so much of people's lives. The diagnostics, when you hear it, make you feel better. It's like so many people talk about their attachment styles. And you say, oh, you've got this particular attachment style. And then they feel better because they're like, oh, I've got an explanation. I've got an explanation of why this is happening to me or why I'm this way. But that's the same as knowing where in the body the thorn is hitting. And as much as that can make you feel better knowing where the thorn is hitting, it's not actually doing anything for your future. And that took me decades to work out. Because I have a one line in my human design, right? So for me, researching things, understanding the foundation of things, like I was so excited in understanding. And this is where we stand in both mindset and health things in our like current state, is that we understand so much about how it looks and where it's affecting, but that doesn't actually shift it. And so having a thorn in your foot and knowing every little thing about it isn't the thing that's going to pull it out. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, is this concept. Getting better at learning every single detail, getting better at knowing every single thing about what's wrong with you is not the thing that's going to shift you. But ignoring it, putting it aside, is not the thing that's going to shift you. Both of these things are going to build up in the body, and eventually your body's going to really scream out to say, hey, there's a freaking thorn in there, can you do something about it? And this usually happens in our 40s and 50s. So what I want to share with you is that we got to pull the thorn out. And pulling the thought out doesn't mean digging up every skeleton in our closet. It doesn't mean devoting our lives to be fluttering in love, and if we do something bad or if we do something negative, we're bad people. There's an art to standing in our power. There's an art to grounding our bodies. There's an art to powering our nervous system. And when we stand in that, when we embody that, when we grow that, we can do powerful things and promote our health in the future. We can ensure our health. It's like an insurance policy, right? It's like you have an insurance policy on your car. And it doesn't mean that you never have an accident, right? When you build your nervous system up, build the power up in your nervous system, it's an insurance policy on your nervous system. This is my work. And it doesn't mean that you'll never have health issues, just like if you have an insurance policy on your car, it doesn't mean you never have a car accident. But what it means is that you are supported. You are supported so well in your nervous system that even if you do have something, you're good to go. And this is what I love to stand into. And if this is something you're interested in, if this is something you want to open up in yourself, if you are at a stage in your business where you can appreciate how important you are in the equation, how important your health is in the equation, how important your nervous system is. If you want to enjoy the ride, not just step in and make a shitload of money and then look back and wish that there was a different way, that you get to grow your business and love the heck out of your life and grow health within your body. If this is what you're interested in, I've got some spots available in my containers. I don't do one-off sessions. I have containers. I have places where you can come in and you can tell me what it is that you want to create, and then I can support you in that. I'll let you know if you are a fit for the container, whether I can actually support you, whether I can support your mission, support your health, and be able to be that insurance policy for your legacy and your health. Because when you commit to that, you're committing to it yourself. You're choosing it. And it's not just me. I'll stand up my end. I'll be here to support you. I have different containers, and you could choose your level of support. Whether it's something that you want one-on-one sessions with me in Zoom, Voxer, and how many times a week, whether it's group sessions or one-on-one, we get to mold that, we get to create that together depending on your needs and what you would like to create. And then whether it's somatic modulation that you want or energetic modulation that you want, we craft that. And when we do that, what happens is that you invest in yourself to create that insurance policy. And when you do that, you'll reap the benefits, and you'll feel it day to day within yourself, that you'll get to understand the language, because it's what I will teach you is like signing up to learn a language of tapping into yourself. And you could say, Priscilla, I know my body, I can feel things. And you can. You'll be able to feel pain, or you'll be able to feel symptoms. But the language isn't in feeling them. The language is in understanding where it comes from and what your body's trying to tell you by the signal. It's not about feeling the signal. It's like, yes, of course, I feel pain, when I put my hand on something hot. But the meaning behind it is lift your hand up, you're putting it on the oven. That's the bit that's elusive. That's the bit that's in the unseen. And when it comes to your business, the unseen parts are the bits that are happening. When it comes to your health, the unseen parts are the bits that we need to interpret, that we need to step into and understand. And that's what opens up the magic, when we interpret that and we have a clear line to it. We don't muck around, looking for things that aren't relevant. We have the clear line and we stand in it and we create it. And we don't rip shreds off ourselves. Instead, we build a stairway. We build a stairway towards the things you want and support your health along the way. And when we stand in that is that frequency is priceless. And so if you're interested in doing that, make sure you DM me and we can work out whether it's a fit for you. If you just enjoy watching me and standing into this energy, if you take out of this something and you're like, you know what? I get my body more by listening to this, and you want to share it, make sure you hit the share button and share it to others who are interested in growing their businesses and their health at the same time, that care about themselves, that stand in themselves and know that they're the key to everything, that know that they are important to their business, that they are important to themselves, and they are important to their future. And when you invest in yourself like that, when you care about yourself like that, when it's like, I am the key to it all. What I do with my body, what I choose with my body every day matters. And it's like, this is the key. What I do with myself matters. You matter. We matter. And with that, my kids matter too. I've got something that I'm doing with my boys, so I'm going to head on and do that. Well, actually one of them, because one of them's away. And that I miss him actually. But I'm sure he's having an amazing time. Alright, have an awesome day, night, wherever you are. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.